Hello, hello. I hope you are well. I thought you might like to watch the snow. So I will, let me turn this a little bit. So I will hold up the cards so you can see. But yes, I saw that you guys were talking about Marie's table. My goodness, I watched that video this morning. It was so sad. It just broke my heart. I hope she's okay. Marie, I know you probably won't see this, but if you happen to, my thoughts and prayers are with you, and it's going to be okay. She was trying to help the spirit of a young girl or a young woman, and she just, it just got very dark. Got dark in the room, and even once she helped the girl, there was still a darkness there. And then bots have been particularly awful. So that's what happened there. I was watching her have a... Oh, you saw it, Lucienne. Goodness. She says it's her last live video. Yes, Alice. So that's what happened there. Good morning, everyone. So, yeah, and can I just seriously thank again our troll slayers. Seriously, thank you so much. These... Oh, I don't have my light on. No wonder it's kind of dark. There we go. Keisha, Texicana, Lisa, Ian, Kathy W, Cappy's mom, Linda, Noelle, Larry Girl, and Sue Ellen, thank you so much. These are the people making this possible. These are the people keeping us safe. So thank you so very much. It is really appreciated. So, having said all of that, and I really hope she's okay. She seems, I mean, I don't know her, but she seems like an absolute sweetheart. I've never talked to her personally. So, sorry, I'm just plugging in this light so it doesn't dim. Which it does sometimes. So I'll just do that. All right, hello everybody. So you can see the snow, that's good, that's good. And I've got the computer out of the way as much as I can, but there's only so much space there. But anyway, I will... All right. There is a poll over on the community page if you want to people want to vote on what deck they like me using the most or just often. And I expect the Rider Waite will win, but other than that, it's good to know kind of what's going on. And I'm actually going to start with the, sorry for those who don't like it, but I'm starting with the Zombie Tarot today because I have a question myself. I was I was reading online last night, and on Twitter they were bringing up this idea of will Trump fire Michael Atkinson? He's the Inspector General who processed the whistleblower's complaint. So... Okay, you guys are still talking about the live streams and... Oh, we're still talking about Marie's table. I really do hope she's okay. I thought IGs couldn't be fired. Harry's mom, that's so not corrupt of you. How norms, laws, silly. So, apologies in advance for typos. So, yeah. the Knight of Long Knives. Is it going to continue? Is Trump, because he is totally unbridled. Just, he can do anything. Let's see. Can Vindman's brother sue Trump because he did nothing? Yes. Did Barron Trump fix the 2016 election? No. Besides, I don't read on anyone under 18. But I think it's a safe no. All right. Poor Barron. Yeah, poor Barron. He did not sign up for this. All right. Let's look at Trump and if his Night of Long Knives is going to become a week of long knives, a month of long knives. And I know I've got Trump's energy because, once again, it's the weirdest thing. It just started happening in the last, few weeks. Every time I get near Trump's energy, it's, I get near his energy and it's like I'm literally just sunk my face into a really scummy pond. It's like, oh, I wonder what's down here. Ugh. So I don't know anything about Michael Atkinson, to be honest. And if Michael Atkinson isn't the Inspector General who processed the whistleblower complaint, then we're going to read on whoever it was. So we will just enjoy the snow, and I will hold up the cards. Did everyone see Trump's photo with the makeup? Yes. And he tried to say it was all fake. It was all fake news. And it's like, no, what you have there is fake tan. And Trump, I believe gender is fluid, and people are who they feel that they are. But I've got to tell you, it's got to annoy Trump that as he's getting older, he's starting to look more and more feminine. And there are some pictures where it's like, oh, that looks like my aunt. Oh, that's Trump. Okay. So I think his makeup artist did it on purpose. I get the sense that he himself might be doing his makeup at this point because it's so badly done. He looks like his mother. Yeah, and he wants his mother's hair. He wants his mother gargantuan blonde hair. That's his thing. So, all right. Oh, this deck is definitely protecting me. I can feel that. It's almost like some of the gunk is just like going into the deck somehow. I don't know why. Thank you for making this deck because it helps me. All right. I'm drawing down white light, positive energy for protection. But as I'm doing that, I'm thinking, if I really, thank you, Jean. If I really want to connect with this energy, actually raising my vibration might not be the best, but no, I need to protect myself. But this is nasty, nasty low vibration. All right. Is Trump going to try to fire the Inspector General or whoever it was who processed the whistleblower's complaint? I think it's Michael Atkinson, Inspector General Michael Atkinson, but if it isn't, it isn't. We're still just reading on whoever it was. And apparently Trump's approval rating has gone up to like 49%. It's the highest it's been his entire presidency. And it's like, ooh, wow, you guys really are low information voters, aren't you? Whew. All right. Will Trump fire the person who processed the whistleblower's complaint? Will Trump fire the person who processed the whistleblower complaint? Well, the Ace of Wands is a card of taking action. So that's what I'm getting for the reading. Okay, we're in the right area. Center of the reading. How do I do this so it doesn't, there's no glare? Okay. Center of the reading is people need to watch their backs. Everybody needs to watch their backs. And anyone who's not, you know, hasn't drunk the Kool-Aid, who hasn't been infected with the cult mentality, has to really watch their backs. Okay, base of the reading. Trump's trying to expand his base and stay in power, and there's a lot of money to be had if you are in the cult. There are a lot of very rich, very corrupt people who want to, I mean, I'm just drawn to all of that jewelry. The ultimate, this is the Ace of Pentacles, but in this deck it's the ultimate gold digger. And not just in the sense of like a woman who likes a man for money. No, this is Trump too. He would. I mean, seriously, does anyone think that if he could get away, you know, not if he could get away with it, he can get away with anything, but if he wanted to do the effort, that anything would stop him from actually, you know, digging up a grave to, you know, get more gold. In the past, this is Kushner. This Knight of Cups, even though it's a cup card, and cup is usually Democrats. This is Kushner's card. And I think this refers to around Trump right now, the disastrous, laughable, insulting Middle East peace process that Kushner came up with. That's still hanging out there. And it's absolutely awful. And not only does it give, like, oh, we're giving Palestinians this, but it cuts them off from any access to anything, from any, it doesn't, and then if you read the fine print, apparently it could also mean that Arab Israelis get stripped of their citizenship. I mean, it's just vile. Above the reading, since this is about, is Trump going to continue on his Knight of Long Knives and fire the Inspector General who processed the whistleblower complaint? Yeah, the cults, if you're not in the cult, watch your back. Above the reading. It's very mercenary. It's a very mercenary thing being in the cult, the Trump cult right now. That if you get thrown to the wolves, you do something wrong, oh well, as long as the Orange Fuhrer wants that, well, there you go. Alrighty, near future. That feels like there are a lot of people, like people scurrying, people fleeing, and a lot of people, like it was reported in the news politically that Republicans who voted against Trump in impeachment would end up with their politically end up with their heads on a spike. Well, this feels like it's the Inspector General. It's anybody and everybody. Like there could be a huge purge because he just purged these people just off the top of his head and got zero blowback as usual, which just emboldens him. Oh, and by the way, did you guys see Junior's tweet? Don Jr. tweeted that he wants to thank Adam Schiff because without Adam Schiff's crack investigative skills, real Donald Trump would have had trouble figuring out who to fire. Thanks, Adam, and then hashtag full of Schiff. I want to read on Junior specifically because, oh, and if you spend if you do whatever, I forget what, you could win a trip to go hunting with Don Jr. And just for the sake of the animals, I just want I don't want anything, I don't want anyone to die. I don't want anyone to get maimed or physically hurt. What I do want, and this is the worst thing I think I can do to anybody, is I will picture someone as strongly in my mind as I can, and I'll picture them completely surrounded by a mirror, like this inside of a sphere that's just a mirror, and they're from every side. And it isn't if they do good, if they care about others, if they're just neutral, be fine. If they do something good, it will rebound back on them quickly. That goodness, good energy will just come right back to them into their lives. If they are awful, it'll just ping pong off that mirror surface and come right back at them. Just like I just want the karma in the sense of what energy they're giving off to just come back and land in their own laps. Oh, hello, Sienna. It looks like a snow globe outside the window. Yes, it does. And funny, I was just talking about a glass mirrored sphere, and that's what I picture when I'm frustrated with like Trump himself or Junior in this case. Sounds like a life review after death. It's not that elaborate. It's just more of whatever energy you're giving off. And if it's good, good energy comes back at you quickly. If you're Donald Trump, if you are the human embodiment of all 7 deadly sins, if you are Trump Jr. and you are such a monster that you would not only shoot an elephant but cut its tail off and hold its tail up like it's a trophy because you think it's a trophy, you sick blankety blank blank blank. I'm just saying the energy should come back to you. I'm not saying he should be shot. I'm saying I just want the energy he gives off to come back to him. That's all. Anyway, I'll get off my soapbox. Home environment. Well, yeah, even Vindman, he's a decorated officer, and in Trump's tweet, he put Lieutenant Colonel Vindman, and he put Lieutenant Colonel in quotation marks. It's like, no, there are no quotation marks. He is a lieutenant colonel. That's his actual rank. Captain Bone Spurs. So hopes and fears. They want to get rid of all kind of people. They want all the power that's in these, the Trump, the cult, they want all the power that's invested in these different offices for their own uses, their own corrupt uses. And it is corrupt. And it's not just Trump who's feeling emboldened to do whatever. What we see, decisions to, in this deck specifically, the decision card, he's swung this chainsaw and, decapitated a zombie. Basically, kind of cut you off at the knees or take your head off, or whatever the phrase is about, take her out, take her out. Yeah, they're not done. The corruption, it's spreading. It's not just Trump. Final outcome. What I'm feeling here is, even when it starts coming back to bite them, because I believe it actually will, but I'll ask for some qualifiers on this. It's like they're fighting over scraps of power because they think they deserve it all. And then this Queen of Cups, this is the card I get for it's just a corrupt person just being their corrupt self, and suddenly the police arrive, or they're under the spotlight, or journalists are right there in the middle of their corruption, and they're like, what? Like, you can't stop me, you can't. But it's like, no, it's all on display. But let's get some qualifiers on that. If Michael Atkinson is the Inspector General who processed the whistleblower complaint, he's not the only one. He's not the only one. I mean, and seriously, I'm kind of picturing people from, this was the near future, people from who are associated with the White House, like it getting to the point where every time they see rumors going around, oh, so-and-so is walking down the hall here in this other government building. And it's like, were they coming here? Okay, then we're not getting fired. But they assume, that person's getting fired. And it's just... And if the Republicans won't do anything about it, what can be done? I mean, Vindman could probably get some money, but he's not going to get his job back. They don't have to reinstate him. But what's going on with this tower? This is the card I get for people around the country at dinner time. Democrats and Republicans, family members. This is where the political rubber hits the road. And this is people being more sick of the division, sick of the continuing division. The numbers are good at the moment, but I wouldn't get too complacent, Trumpy. Because, Because something's going to happen here where we have our emperor, Jawohl, you fool. That's our dear leader. And King of Swords, which is... sometimes this is a card in this deck that comes up for his base, but this one feels very much like investigators. Because I usually get the king. I used to get the regular King of Swords for Mueller, but I'm just saying it's investigations. And then look at the strength of the Justice. Two major arcana, and they feel fused, absolutely fused together. So the investigations to Trump something. And I started hoping to have more tomorrow on this. But I started looking at, there are two things I'm looking at astrologically. One, I'm still looking at the Democratic contenders for the nomination. And I'm also looking at not just Trump, but my feeling is it's best in astrology. You don't just look at something like this, you don't just look at one person. You look at the group. Like, you look at different people in the group, because if something major is going to happen, if there's going to be a fall of the Trump administration, it's going to affect Trump. It's going to affect Barr, Pence. You know, I mean, even if they don't all go down, maybe if it's just Trump who would have to leave, it's going to affect all of them. So in astrology, I'm having a look at that, because there are various astrologers, and I just keep hearing from the astrologers, even from some readers, late March, early April, late March, early April. And it's, you know, this is what's going to happen to Barr, this is what's going to happen to Pence, this is what's going to happen to Trump. Everything looks good until late March, early April, late March, early April. So I'm looking into that. So, but tell me more about, is there anything else to know here that you could, oh, excuse me, I'm going to take my microphone off. Sorry about that. Okay. Mac is saying, why didn't Obama go to Vietnam? He was like 14? Yeah. Ooh, that justice. Justice and strength. Howling at the moon. Oh, do tell. Oh, do tell. Let's hear more about this. What form this Tower card is going to take. It really does feel like things devolving in the Republican Party. Did any of you see the movie High Rise? It was a movie, but Tom Hiddleston did the audiobook, which was phenomenal. And he's a great actor. He has a great voice. But if High Rise, it's about, basically, it's set in a high-rise development, and basically everything just starts devolving. Just the tribal mentalities, because the richer people live near the top and the poorer people live near the bottom, and they're shops and things and in the middle and pools, and then the person who designed it and had it built lives at the very, very top. And yeah, it's sort of Snowpiercer-ish, but anyway, that's the image, a mental image I'm getting, is the kind of things devolving. Oh, and here's Barr having an absolute fit. Just absolutely being beside himself. Because the cups is what I get for Democrats. Democrats forcing a certain temperance, and Barr just, I've said this 100 times when it comes to Barr. Every time I read on him, I get the same words in my head, as if he himself is saying, how dare you question the Führer. It's like, wow, dude. And this is how kind of things are, where people are the super rich and the spoiled, and the people who have success on the backs of others, but look down on them. Things are not going to end well for them. So this feels very much like the frustrating energy we've been dealing with very, very, very frustrating energy. It feels like suddenly balance, suddenly righting itself very suddenly. So I'm wondering if that's, is this just wishful thinking? Because I don't like when readings are too good to be true. I'm always skeptical of those. I mean, I try to be an optimist in general, but when I do readings and it feels like, yes, everything's going to suddenly, I'm going to just throw a few more cards on this, just to really metaphorically beat this horse, dead horse. Not that I would beat anyone or anything, but you know what I mean. Is the balance going to suddenly right itself? And things blow up in Trump's face? Metaphorically, no violence. I also started watching Cash Peters. I just found his videos last night because other readers have been suggesting him. It's good. The stuff is good. Why am I getting... Do you guys remember this more pop culture references? Do you guys remember the end of... It must have been the third Christopher Nolan Batman movie with Bane, where Manhattan was cordoned off and isolated, and they attacked the rich. I shuffled and I picked randomly from the deck, and I got these two same cards right up against each other. They feel fused. And there's that corruption again, and yeah, we are all, you know, we've been through the ringer of this corruption and the sleepless nights. And this feels like something between us and the corruption is like spreading. It's like there's a barrier put in place. Okay, this isn't telling me anything specific though. Yes, it is. It's telling me it has to do with Trump's money again. All right, something's coming about Trump's money. It just is. It's just, I've been getting it off and on. Yeah, the Christian Bale movie. Yeah. So we'll have to see. You saw Shandar is saying that I saw the rice experiment. Has anyone actually done the rice experiment? I've always been tempted to try that, but I haven't gotten around to it. Yeah, Trump's lack of money, exactly. Or as Bloomberg said, when someone asked him if it's good that the American people would have, if he ran against Trump, if American people really want two billionaires vying for the presidency, and Bloomberg said, well, I'm a billionaire, who else are you talking about? The race experiment is, it's this idea of positive and negative energy. I believe it started in Japan. But you basically take like a glass jar full of rice. So you take two identical glass jars, and you put the same amount of cooked rice in each one from the same batch. And you basically... It can potentially get a bit gross because you're going to leave it out for like a week. But every day you go up to the one and you speak lovingly to it, and you just send as much positive energy at it as you can. And the other one you either ignore, or if you feel like it's what you want to do, you can insult it and send negative energy at it and what have you. And at the end of a week or what have you, at least what they've shown on YouTube is the rice that's had the positive energy is, well, let's put it this way. The one that you've been negative to is, it goes, you get black spots and you get just, it gets really nasty and it smells bad. Whereas the one that has a positive energy, it's still obviously falling apart, but it's nowhere near as gross. So I've never tried it, but I've thought about it, and I probably, maybe I will someday. Yeah, I heard that. I stopped reading polls. Teresa's saying I stopped reading polls because they only call landlines. Yeah, I did a reading on the polls the other day, and yeah, the problem is it's too hard to get a real feel on things because our technology is shifting so fast. Read on. My mom used to talk to her plants and music to them and said it helped them thrive. I believe it. The rice thing with the candidates. Did someone do a rice experiment where they were like Bernie, they were focusing on Bernie for one and Trump on the other? Oh, you've got to give me, if that was a thing, you've got to please put the link in the comments. I really, really want to see that. Okay, Autumn, read on Nancy's work with private sector investigators. Well, let's see. Do you know that she is, or you're just hoping that she is? Nancy Pelosi. Private sector investigators. Yeah, that would explain why my rescue dog has thrived. We coo over her and tell her what a good, pretty girl she is. Yes. Yes. I tell these two knuckleheads, these two cats here, I tell them, how good boy, you are so precious, because they'll forget. If I don't tell them 10 times a day, they'll forget, Yeah, the water experiments, I have seen those too. Other readers say Trump's base is much smaller than asserted. How big is Trump's base really? I've read on that too. It's I don't like have a number, but it's not great. Trump only got into office because, my cousin voted for a third-party candidate. Some people I know didn't vote. They might have normally, but there was a real feeling at the time that it was kind of inevitable. And then there were more people who voted for Trump just because they didn't like Hillary. So, but I'm trying to figure out what's going on with Nancy Pelosi, because we're, all right, I'm just going to read on Don Jr., because that was a long reading, and I like to get through 5 readings if I can. And I've only got 1 here. So I'm going to read on Jr., since I don't understand why, or if, I'm just wondering if, about the Nancy Pelosi thing, private sector investigators. I don't know if she's allowed to do that. I don't know if she, I don't know. Don Jr., you puddle of muck. Thank you, Adam Schiff, for your crack investigations. So my father knows who to fire. Oh, I'm definitely in his energy. He's such a vile toad. And his, oh, two, I've got 3 cards for the near future. And he, I mean, you can feel the void. What he would do for his father's approval. And he feels like he's finally getting it. His father's trusted him with a lot of responsibility with the company that he didn't have before. And he is such a, just the way Trump is just a black hole of need and insecurity, so is his son. He's made his son that way. And you can feel it. That it's like, I have my dad's approval now because he's better. I'm better. I'm on his level now, and he's being rewarded for being obnoxious. Oh, Deborah Hoven's asking, Adam, can you please read on if the people who stayed home last presidential election will be voting then? I have read on that, and it was overwhelmingly yes. The numbers of people voting in November will be huge. If the numbers aren't massive in the primary, don't worry too much about that. But it will be a huge numbers of people voting in November. All right, Junior. He's going to gross up my cards. That's his view of women, that old-fashioned sexist trope about the nurses and it's it's a wand card. I'll leave it at that. That's just disgusting. Thanks. In the past, he's always been very close to his sibling, like Ivanka. He didn't have a choice really, and she was always the favorite. No matter what he did to get attention, she was always the favorite. I'll tell you, look, I'm one of 3 girls, and I don't want to be the favorite. I'm not, because my parents have gone out of their way to say that they don't have a favorite. But I don't want the responsibility. That's fine. I'll share it. I don't want the focus on me, but But then again, Donald Trump isn't making it clear. He's not going out and saying, I don't have a favorite, and acting as such. Anyway, center of the reading. He likes blood sports. And he likes blood sports in, going out and hunting, and he likes blood sports when, in politics. Base of the reading. He likes how Fox News, okay, focus. He likes how Fox News is making those liberal snowflakes cry. If you're expecting anything out of this reading other than he drank all the Kool-Aid. He chose the flavor of the Kool-Aid. He's like walking around with a big pitcher of it, just like pouring it into his own mouth. Above the reading. Yeah, you better, my father's that powerful. My father can do anything. You better watch your back. He's threatening people to make himself important. Maybe as a joke, maybe not, but he's threatening people. Like, he goes, he's in the bathroom at some fancy restaurant or whatever, and there's some other people in there, and he speaks his mind, and yeah, it's not nice. Near future. Well, we've had enough. This is the card of la la la, I can't hear you. Because he has money, he has power, and he doesn't care that other people don't. Matter of fact, he likes that other people don't, and that he does. But this, we'll see what the other cards have to say, but this card feels very strong today. Very strong. Last I heard, I thought that the Supreme Court rulings in general like came out in like a grouping in like June, but someone else is saying that they could rule on Trump's taxes being released or not in March. Does that sound right to anybody? Yes, June. All right, home environment. That's related to the nurse thing. He's very proud of himself. Yuck. Hopes and fears. Yeah, his father, the emperor, the more power his father has, the more important he is finally. What other people see. What other people see is the damage he's doing. Where you scare people so much that, you know, they end up in their basement, you know, with nothing on the, you know, some ammunition and no stores, but kind of this fantasy that they could somehow join the super rich, or, you know, live in a Trump Republican dystopia. Or utopia. I believe, I could be wrong, but I believe utopia, the word utopia, is based on a Greek word that means nowhere. Because there is no perfect place. But that's what I read. I have not researched it, but that is what I read. Final outcome. Yeah, temperance is coming. Justice and temperance are coming. Some kind of barrier on something Trump's doing is coming. This is like wheels of government starting to move again. Or, you know, one big gear that they have frozen up suddenly being able to at least shift a great deal. Oh, that's good to see. Oh, that's good to see. So what's going to happen to Gross McGrocerson? Gross son. Gross son. It's interesting. It's like it doesn't feel well. I wonder what's going on there. String other Republicans along. But things coming to light. The strength of things coming to light. I mean, I'm trying to check my bias here. It's like, okay, these cards are stringing the Republicans along. That's something wrong with him. But the Sun card, it just on the cards themselves, it could have two meanings. It could mean lording over the little people. It could be helicopters leaving the corruption behind and going on to a better life. It could be things coming to light, being able to finally see. And then the strength card is just, it's kind of in this case, it's kind of a qualifier. This is very, very, very strong. So I'm trying to say, with things coming to light, or is it, well, I think we can rule out that he's suddenly going to see the light and just go off and not want to have anything to do with politics or anything else anymore. Unlikely. But is that things coming to light, or is that him lording over everyone else? Well, he's going to lord over everybody else, but continuing. I just don't feel it. There are too many forces aligned against these people. All right, I'll pull some more cards. Because that just feels like something coming to light, along with the Justice card that keeps coming up, and sometimes I just have to question what I'm getting to say, all right, what's my interpretation here? I think I'm going, yeah. The Democrats are not going to give up. And the Republicans cannot effectively fight back. It looks like the Trump Republicans have won. Democrats coming hard back against them. Republicans can't effectively fight back. And here's their corruption. You know, would you like this little box of, the coin thing is broken, so you can take what you want. So here are the Trump vices. Would you like the lust, the pride, the greed, the gluttony, the sloth, and just 3 more cards, because like I said, no, people aren't giving up. People are not giving up. Not giving up. It's causing too much stress. People love the country. They want the quiet that we had. You know, no drama, Obama. And someone may think, oh, but this, and this under Obama. But it's like, compared to now? Oh, but the economy's better. Really? You think? It isn't. He's still gonna, and he's got such an ironclad hold on the Republicans that when Trump goes down, he's taken them with him. They have shackled themselves to him. This is a focus group where they're trying to message, and then it's just trying to get sorry, I'm kind of reading it backwards, but this is just, it's like, yeah, everything's corrupt, but oh well, everything's corrupt. That's just the way it's always been. It's like, no, not really. Focus groups, what's the best messaging? Keep this going. But these are Republicans absolutely shackled to Trump and his policies. So that's what I'm getting for Junior, and by association, the future of Trump. Financial records, financial records, financial records. And like I said, I'll keep looking things up, but I just, from various readers, I keep hearing March, late March, early April, late March, early April. Okay. Hillary keeps going after Bernie. See, why, baby? This is one of those questions where I'm leery of answering it, because in order for me to read on why is Hillary going after Bernie, I would have to say some negative things about Hillary, and I would have to say some negative things about Bernie. And I don't think that really helps us. But I really don't want the channel to be something that divides Democrats. But she's not a candidate. I understand. Still stands. She was a candidate. And I don't want to I don't want to divide Democrats. Thank you. Thank you for understanding. Will there be more whistleblowers? They're terrified. They're absolutely, I got a reading on that. The message was loud and clear. Will there be more whistleblowers? They'd get eaten alive. Even if the Democrats are saying they'll protect them. Actually, if anything, this is the Republicans trying to distract again, turning the Hunter Biden thing into a deal when it isn't. Whistleblowers being too afraid to come forward. This is people waiting to go into hearings about the Bidens or whatever. Yeah, the House can't do it because Nancy's in charge. Thank you, Divine. But they can. The Republicans are in charge of the Senate, and the Senate has committees, and they've already got Hunter Biden's information that they shouldn't. Huh. But no, they can't. The Democrats can't have Trump's information. Oh no. All right. That's really 2.5 readings. We'll call it 3, but I'd like to do at least one more long-ish reading about Mercury retrograde. Mercury retrograde, how's that going to affect us? How is that going to affect the Trump and the Republicans and the fight against Trump? Mercury retrograde, Mercury retrograde. Mercury retrograde. Mercury, when he goes retrograde, is a drama king. Oh, I have to go backwards. It looks like I'm going backwards, and my thing is to go forward. Therefore, so I'm just going to ruin everything for everybody. It's like, really? Then again, all the planets are like that. Well, that's not true. There are some that are a little, well, at least for what it's worth, a little bit more like, oh, wait, did I forget something? Wait, let me back up and go over this again. Did I leave anything behind? Did I not do anything? Like Saturn. Did I not finish that? Is that finished? Did I leave it? Okay, I can move on now. It's like, oh yeah, thanks. We thought you were gone. Mercury retrograde. Miscommunication is starting to also mean a rise of bots. That's not his arm holding up his hand. Misinformation as well as glitchy communications. Yay. Especially because right now Neptune is still in Pisces, which is its home sign, and Neptune is all about nebulous and dissolving things and fiction and art and lies, and when it's in Pisces, when any planet's in its home sign, it just gets home and it undoes its, takes its belt off and goes around in its dirty socks and the sweats on and just lets everything hang out. And that's what's going on, and that's why we end up with like Trump, where it's like, it's all just a fog of lies. It's like, yep. Well, it is going to affect this. It is going to affect the Trump administration. And not for the better. Good. Huh. Mercury retrograde. Yeah. If any of you are going to get married, do check to see if Mercury is retrograde when you're going to make your vows. Yeah, just something to keep in mind. Break up the party. So, yeah, okay, all right. Well, I think specifically this should be hopefully about how Mercury retrograde affects Trump and the Trump administration, but it's also in different parts of the country and families of politicians, and this is a lot of fighting. This is not only going out guns blazing, but it's also like metaphorically, this is not real, my children will feed on the bones of my enemies kind of. Good grief, calm down. Decaf is just as tasty. Near future. Messing with people's heads. Yeah, the polls and media coverage and misinformation, just messing with people's heads. So just find something solid to hold on to. It'll be okay. Home environment. Ah, there he is, Orange Fiera. And his wall. Hopes and fears. Oh, there's Trump as the man. Him being, the hope is him being knocked down to size. Some people's fear is him being knocked down to size, although they're not very afraid of it right now. What we see, not good. Isn't Mercury goes into retrograde kind of mid-month. Doesn't it go on until, is it mid or end of March? Plus it would be in shadow. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. March 10th. And then it's in shadow. And there was there was that talk of possibly something coming out late March, early April. Don't know. But for some reason, we see a death card, and I don't. I'm glad I'm doing these readings, because this energy I'm getting today, even when I double check, it's not the death of the Republic, and it's not the death of. We're still fighting, and I can feel it. I can feel how hard people are fighting, and writing and talking to people they know, and organizing and influencing, and I can feel it. Just, we're not giving up. We're not giving up. We're not giving up. It's February 17th to March 10th. Thank you. Yep, and then you have the shadow period, so okay. Final outcome. Trump doing something so boneheaded that even his base is like, what? Huh? That's what I'm getting there. Trump, boneheaded, what? That's what I'm getting from that. Very straightforward as far as the symbolism goes. Yep, something's coming. Something's coming. It is. It is. It doesn't seem like it. It doesn't feel like it. But, Autumn, I have 6 planets in retrograde. How do I even get up in the morning? I understand. I understand. They weren't retrograde. They were just going back to check. That's all. Just being very conscientious. 6 planets. Oh, all right. So I'm having a look here every day. I recognize a deep symbolism in those cards. They really speak. I agree, Texicana. Yes, light and love to Marie. Absolutely. Are you having trouble with the bot trolls today? Is it really bad? Will he make America beautiful again? Stephen asks. You want him to sing? That's the only way he himself could make America beautiful. He could try to sing. Yes, I do check a lot. Hello, Mexico. No, it's fine here, Autumn. Good, thank you. I didn't see any trolls. Good, 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 good. All right, is there anything else? Deutsche Bank papers. You know what? I'm going to do... Deutsche Bank versus Trump's tax returns. All right, and I'm going to tilt this down so you can see, because I'm going to make two. Sorry. I'm going to make two piles here. All right. What is going to hurt Trump the most? What's going to come out and do the most damage to Trump? Is it Deutsche Bank being forced to turn over records, or is it more Trump's tax returns getting oversight? Deutsche Bank or tax returns? Deutsche Bank or tax returns? All right, Deutsche Bank. Tax returns. Trump's tax returns. 4 cards on each. For Deutsche Bank, got the 5 of Cups and the Ace of Swords at the bottom, with the 10 of Pentacles and the 2 of Cups above. What I'm getting, well, I'm going to get this is, Deutsche Bank was dealing with some very, 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 very rich people who all knew each other. And it definitely feels like oligarch money. This is this person here crying, and this is like what Putin did, picking up the sword, but it's like Russian oligarch money coming to the super rich who all know each other. All right, there's that. What have we got here for the tax returns? How badly Melania is going to make out in any divorce. That wouldn't be in his taxes, but financially, compared to other stuff, he's pretty horrible. What he's done to her, what he's left her, what he's going to leave Eva Braun with. And above the reading, that's Democrats fighting. And getting hold of something. They're gonna, yeah, they're going to get hold of something. And I don't know if it's through the courts or if it's something somebody's going to manage to leak. Hopefully it's through the courts. It feels court-ish. Let me see. I'm going to need more than this. Deutsche Bank tax returns. Deutsche Bank tax returns. The Republicans aren't going to help. Around Deutsche Bank, over Deutsche Bank, I have the do not mess with people's privileges. Do not mess with the super rich, but this is King of Cups. This is Democrats, this powerful Democrat saying, oh, I am going to look, and seeing the vice, bringing vice to the surface. I don't know how necessarily that could happen, but whereas for the tax returns, it feels like Trump family dirty secrets, Trump company dirty secrets. You know, putting about lying about paying off the porn star, putting it as something it's not in the tax returns, and just the bad things that getting caught doing the bad things, really bad accounting. I mean, because even their professional accountants, they have to go on the information they're given. And that's why even if you have your taxes professionally done, you have to go over them and sign them and send them in and say, yes, this is correct. And if you try to come back and say, oh, this isn't correct, this is my tax, my tax preparer screwing me over, you have to prove what their motive would be. You've got to prove a lot. I'm feeling it's more than the tax return, so they will be bad enough. I agree. Will Trump's accountants pay for his crimes? That's the base of the reading, the Ace of Pentacles. I'm saying he's a gold digger. I'm saying he would dig up a cemetery if it didn't involve effort to get the gold. No. His accountants are not going to be in that much trouble because they are going to have very, very, very good lawyers. Very good lawyers who go for the jugular. I think they're going to be fine because they're going to argue that they were given false information. So Michael Cohen is almost finished time if he gets time off for good behavior. No, the Republicans are not Republicans are not going to stand up to him. They're just not. So, is it money laundering, corrupt business practices? Because when he was saying to change it so American companies can bribe in foreign countries, he's done that. I mean, it's just he projects everything, asks about things that he has done wrong. This is just fear of him, Trump's fear of people who, let's put it this way. This is Trump's nightmare of forensic accountants. They're coming to look at your W-2s. money laundering. Oh, do not mess with the Russian mob. Corrupt business practices. What I'm getting is, for both, I'm getting, yes, money laundering and corrupt business practices and the screwy things he did with his inheritance from his father to keep his own party going, and even tried to, he basically screwed over his own siblings. And it's money. It's coming. All right. And I know it's like, sure, I got my hopes up about Mueller, and that didn't hit. Great. And Mueller testified, and his report came out during a Mercury retrograde, I believe. It's like, oh, great. Which means you're going to have to go back over it later. Got excited about the Mueller report, and that fell through. Got excited about the impeachment, and that fell through. But we kind of knew that was going to fall through in the end. Oh, but he looks stronger than ever. Yeah. I'm getting very strongly. I've been getting very strongly. There's going to be huge voter turnout. Huge voter turnout. So, it will take all 10 swords to bring him down. Exactly why, baby. Trump wanted to get rid of the Foreign Corruption Act. I wonder why. Exactly. Is he really going after Medicare and Social Security? No, because the voters, especially because his voting base is so much older, they would go absolutely mad. So, all right, Deutsche Bank, tax returns. SDI. All right, so that is going to be me for today. I'm so sorry if I didn't get to your question. I do feel that it's the one thing I'm so glad I'm able to help people, and this is I really am grateful to be here, and that you're here. I feel bad because it does get to a point where I can't. It's like I can read through the comments, but I can't answer as many of them as I want to. Sometimes I can't answer hardly any, and I feel bad. And I feel bad that, you ask questions even repeatedly, and yeah, but just so you know, I really appreciate it, and I'm doing what I can here. I just go with what my gut says to look at, but we'll get through this, and there are good days ahead, and it's not over. It's not over. We are going to see a proud America once again. We will. Bolton's book. Oh, it's coming out eventually. Oh, that's media attention. That's the Republican Party. That's breaking up the Republican Party. That's their vices on display. So, a little bit on Bolton's book. Alrighty, I will be back here tomorrow, same bat time, same bat channel at noon Central Time in the US. I hope you have a great Sunday. Thank you so much, everybody. You hang in there, all right? And I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, there are good days ahead. There really are. All right, bye-bye.